Stone. My name is Amanda. I am a holistic practitioner, and I am here today to do a reading for the whole year of 2026 for the collective. So I'm going to do a bit of a different reading this year because, as you may have heard if you follow me on Facebook or if you've seen previous videos, I won't be doing the monthly and the weekly readings anymore. They just take up too much time and I need to have that time to do other things. So I'm going to make this reading quite a detailed reading. It's going to be a reading of 13 cards. So you're going to have the theme card, and then you're going to have cards for each month of the year, January through to December. But I've actually pulled two cards. I've pulled a tarot card for a predictive reading, and then I've also pulled a Illustrated Herbiary, Bestiary or Crystallary card for a prescriptive. So what you need to do to have the smoothest month possible. So you've got that predictive and prescriptive side of the reading. I will try and timestamp these. Actually, I'm going to get a piece of paper so I can... I'm going to get a piece of paper so that I can write down the time on it so that I can try and timestamp them. Now, I just have to find a pencil. Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing down the months. July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. This is a reading for the collective, so it may not necessarily resonate with you, and that's okay. Just take what does and leave the rest. As I said, I am going to try and timestamp them so that each month you can come back and have a look at the month ahead so that you don't have to remember it all from the very beginning. The video will be available on my website and on my YouTube channel. It won't be available on Facebook. So if you want to keep in touch, you will have to go to those two sites to actually have a look at the video. Saying that, any other readings or videos that I have will only be for subscribers to my newsletter. So if you want to be involved in that, please sign up for my newsletter. You can currently sign up for it on the front homepage of my website, which is www.storyandstone.com.au. I am trying to get other places where you can also sign up for that newsletter. But that will be in the future. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, sorry, one more thing. The tarot deck I'm using for this reading is the gold tarot, gold foil tarot, and I'm using the Illustrated Herbiary, Illustrated Crystallary, and Illustrated Bestiary, all by Maia Toll, for the prescriptive readings. Okay, so first of all, let's just talk about 2026. We are going into a 1 year globally or collectively. You may already feel that energy coming in. I'm recording this on the 31st of December. But since September, I've been feeling this energy coming in and starting to take over the energy of the 9 year, which was 2025. Now, 9 years are all about completion. They're about releasing and letting go of what no longer serves us and about clearing the slate, so that we can go into a 1 year, which is all about new beginnings. It's about opportunities and it's about taking action. Now, I have made some notes, so please excuse me if I keep looking over at them because I don't want to forget to give you all the information. Okay, so what you have to remember is that this is a 1 year collectively. So this is for the world, not just individually for you. We actually have our own personal year numbers, which will depend on the year and the birth and day and month that we were born in. So for example, I'm pretty sure I'm going into a personal 5 year. So unless your personal year is a 1 also, the energy or the influences of this energy may not be as strong for you. It really will depend on your personal year number, which I'm not going to go into detail here. Take way too long to talk about everybody's personal year number, but just know that this is a collective year number, so the influence of this energy to you will not be as strong as what your personal year number will be. So as I said, it's a 1 year. It's all about fresh starts. It's all about taking action. It's all about planting seeds and creating opportunities. You're going to find that a lot more people will have more faith in themselves and will have more faith in their intuition and what their gut says. So they won't be so dependent on spiritual gurus and teachers. They will hopefully be their own guru. People will start to find that they have the courage to make the changes in their lives that they need to make to improve the quality of their life or to improve their lifestyle. Now, as a global, if you're looking at this globally or collectively, this could mean that governments may change. People who are not for the collective but rather for themselves will start to find that karma is coming to bite them on the arse. We are moving into an era where we will be more about the collective and less about ourselves. Now, saying that, as an individual, for example, you can't love anybody else until you love yourself. Truly love somebody else until you truly love yourself. So that type of work is still important. But more people will be thinking about, well, what's in it for the collective? How does this improve everybody's lives, not just my life? As I said, we will start to have less faith in the spiritual guru and more faith in our own intuition, our own wisdom, which has always been there for us, but we've always just had our heads turned by society, by social media, by governments, by big corporations, telling us not to trust that little voice inside us, but to trust this person or this person who's making lots of money for them. So this year will see us trusting our gut more, and we'll be moving away from needing others to tell us what to do or to show us the way. There will be more mentorship, so one-on-one possibly, where people are mentoring others and helping them enhance the abilities that they already have, not charging them exorbitant amounts of money to do stuff that they already know how to do. Okay, so this is a really healing year. It's for some of us at the beginning of the year, we may still find that we need to still release some of that crap from 2025, release and let go of some of the stuff that no longer serves us. But all in all, we're starting to go in and we have a much more positive mindset, which is great, because what you think about, you bring about. But also we're having a much more positive outlook on the future, because let's face it, the last few years have been pretty dim, dark and gloomy. Okay, let's see. So you're going to be more about following the beat of your own drum, not following the crowd or what social media tells you to do. So, I hope a lot of those influencers out there actually have skills to fall back on, because you will start to see the end of the influencer. It might not happen in this year, but it will start. People will start to think, you're an influencer, not an expert. You will see a lot more people not really look at what influencers are doing and what they're selling type thing. They'll be trusting more their gut, which is what we want to do. Okay, so also lastly, importantly, the seeds that you plant this year will set the tone and the theme for the next 9 years, because we run in a 9-year cycle. So be very aware of that. Going forward, you want to put as many positive, life-affirming seeds into the ground as possible, so that you can get the benefit of these in the years to come. So just a little bit of a tip there for you. Okay, so let me see, what am I up to? 10, 14. Okay, so let's start with the reading. We're going to do the theme first. So the theme of the year. The theme of the year is Ace of Cups. So this is our prediction. The year is going to be about emotional new beginnings. And as I just said, a lot of us are starting to trust ourselves more, trust our own wisdom more. We're starting to realize that we do need positive mindsets to create positive opportunities in our lives. And we're going to be more open about the good of the collective, basically. So we're starting to realize that what we do and say and feel and all that sort of stuff affects everybody around us. It's like a big ripple effect. And so we're going to be more conscious of maybe not sending out vibrations that are not for the good of everybody. So that's the theme. Now, that's the prediction. The prescription is Amalite, which is better with time. So this is telling me, whilst it's going to be new emotional beginnings for a lot of us, we have to realize that it's not just going to happen just like that. That we're still going to have stops and starts, and that's okay. That's how you learn. If we don't make mistakes, we don't learn. So making mistakes is good, as long as they don't kill anybody or, anyway. So the prescription for this is to realize that it's not going to happen instantly, that it will get better with time, that life will get better with time, and that this year really is setting us up for the next 9 years, where we're going to see huge leaps and bounds in people becoming more for the group rather than just for themselves. That real 90s mindset that we've sort of still been carrying through, but not to the same extent, is now going to really significantly drop away, and we're going to see people more in tune with loving thy neighbor, supporting their communities, and projecting positivity and love out to the greater world. Okay, so for January, 12:45. Okay, so for January, okay, we've got the Knight of Swords and we've got remember forgetting. So the Knight of Swords is a very quick energy. So there's going to be quite a fast entry into 2026 energetically wise. The Knight is, he's very intellectual. He's all about adopting new concepts and new ideas, new ways of living, which is perfect for the start of this year. But he can be a bit gung-ho. He can tread on people's toes. He can be a bit thoughtless by not, telling people what his ideas and his objectives are, and just thinking that everybody's on the same page as him. So January, you may find that whilst you may be really up and go and ready to take advantage of this energy, that not everybody around you will be. So you really need to be aware of that, and maybe make sure that you explain to the people around you, to the people that are included in whatever you're doing, what exactly is happening, so that you're all on the same page. The Knight of Swords is also really good at putting his ideas and his concepts that he's taken from his higher chakras and putting them down through the heart chakra and out into the lower chakras and actually taking action on them. He's really good at doing that. So this will be a really good month for you to actually take action on some of those intentions that you may be setting at New Year's. Prescriptively, we've got the Human card, and its message is remember forgetting. So to me, this is saying we have to remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. We have to remember that we are here to experience life, okay, and all that entails. We also have to remember that as a spiritual being, we have the ability to manifest or co-create what we want in our lives. We have to remember that. So many of us have forgotten. You know, we remember that when we're really, really little, and then as we become more involved in family life, as we grow and form our neural pathways, we start to take on the pathways of our tribe, which is for most of us, our immediate family. And, you know, if they're stuck in a loop of lack or scarcity, then that's going to be the neural pathway that child will learn. But they remember who they actually are. And it's really important for us as adults to start remembering that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that it is possible for us to co-create the lives that we wish, we desire. So a pretty good start to the year. Okay. So for February, we've got the Eight of Cups and the Lady's Mantle, which is Fortitude. These cards go together very well. So predictively, the Eight of Cups is talking about there may be something that you still need to leave behind, something that you're clinging to, that you just don't want to let go of, but you need to let it go because it's stopping you from moving forward. And it will be something that will, on the outside, it will most typically be something that from the outside to someone else will look like it's a pretty good wicket. And actually it is, but just not for you. So you need to leave it behind. And that's going to be a real theme for you for February, is that we still need to drop those things, those last things that we're just clinging to, that most probably don't want to stay anyway. That could be relationships, that could be a job, it could be a home, it could be a hobby that you just do because that's what you've done for so long and you're really busting to try something else. It could be a way of life, it could be the way you eat, or smoking or drinking or taking drugs. It could be a shopping addiction. Excuse me. It will be something that no longer serves your highest good. Now, the prescriptive side of February is Lady's Mantle, Fortitude. And when you think about it, to let something go that you don't really want to let go of, it takes real fortitude. It takes real strength to do that. So prescriptively, we're saying build that strength muscle, that inner strength muscle. Build it up so that you can let go with love, basically. Okay, so for March 1808. For March, we have... Okay, so for March, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Hematite Anchor In. Okay, so I will put these cards up on the screen. So the Nine of Pentacles for March is a really, really positive card. It's about enjoying the fruits of your labor. It's about enjoying how far you've become, celebrating how far you've become and all the hard work that you've put into it. Celebrate that. Don't just dismiss it and move on to the next thing. We need to take time to celebrate our successes. And March is definitely the time for that. So if you've managed in February to give up smoking or drinking or, social media or shopping or whatever it is, or you've walked away from a relationship that wasn't doing you any good, March is the time to celebrate that. It doesn't have to be a big hoo-ha, but it has to be something that you can say, look at what I did. I did it. I did something for my own higher good. Now, the prescriptive side is about anchoring in. Hematite is a very protective, it's not actually a crystal, it's a metal, which, by the way, if you have a hematite necklace or anything, don't wear them in the water. They will rust away. But hematite is asking us to ground. It's a real grounding stone. And they're saying, ground in. You're creating this stable foundation for the next 9 years. So you really want to ground in. You want to anchor in those new rituals, those new habits, those new experiences and ideas that you're forming, you really want to ground them in so that they become a part of you. They become a part of your everyday life. Okay, so 25. Okay, so for April, we have a major arcana card, the first major arcana card of the reading, which is the Sun. And we have a prescriptive card of You Only More So, which is Ruby. And looking at the Sun is living in the moment, living in the present, retaining a childlike wonder, retaining an awe at how amazing Mother Earth is, how amazing life actually is, you know. How amazing our bodies are. Like, they keep us alive. We don't have to think about breathing or making our heart beat. It is all done by our body. And, you know, when you think about the magnitude of that, it's just absolutely mind-boggling about how wonderful and amazing our bodies and this planet is, and how it's self-sustaining. It keeps going even when we chuck shit at it, you know. And so this month, I really want you to stay present. I really want you to be in love with life, you know. Really take on a childlike view of everything. Be curious and excited about learning new stuff or re-examining stuff that you haven't looked at for ages. This is really the month for you to really dig down and do that type of thing. And prescriptively, we're being asked to do that. Be you, but only more so. So be your true, authentic self. And our true, authentic self, one thing that has in common for everybody is when we're being authentic, we are curious. We are awe-inspired by the way our planet survives and the way our bodies work and function, the way our brain functions and all of that other stuff. It just is really quite awe-inspiring. And when you're being your authentic self, you automatically feel that way anyway, no matter what your authentic self is. So Rishi, for April, we're really being asked to just be authentic, be us, and just remember to be really present in the now. Be present in this time, because technically speaking, there is no past or no future. There is only now. This is the only place where we can co-create what we want. We can't do it from the past. We can learn from the past, and we can't do it from in the future either, because we haven't got there yet. So you need to really, really be present to be able to co-create what you want to come into your life. Okay. Okay, for May 23, 33. Okay, so for May. Okay, May actually looks like it's going to be a bit of a, not negative, but just a lower energy card. We have the Five of Cups, which can represent loss. And we have Yarrow, Pocket of Protection. Now, as a predictive card, the Five of Cups often means that there will be a loss felt, whether that's the loss of a relationship or a job or a house move, or, you know, financial loss or anything like that. But whatever the loss is, it will be very emotional for you. And it really talks about taking the time out to really feel that loss, not trying to gloss over it and move on. You'll see in the card that there's three cards here which the man is looking at, and then in the background there are two cups still standing. So what this card says, sorry, I'm getting my cups and cards mixed up. What this card says is that yes, you're feeling the loss of those three cups, but what you don't see yet is because you're drowning in your sorrow, basically, is you don't see that there are still opportunities for you. in whatever arena it is that you've had that loss. And that's okay, because it's okay to feel that grief, to feel that loss. And quite fittingly, the prescriptive card is Yarrow, which is about pocket of protection. And this is about creating a safe space for yourself to go when things get too much and you need to retreat. You need to take time out to rejuvenate and refresh and just repair and rest and recover. It's almost like the Four of Swords card, where it's saying just step back, take that time to rest and recover, take that time to grieve whatever loss has come through for you. So really, really very fitting for the Five of Cups that month. So really make sure that you have a space that you can go to, whether that is just a room in your house, or the beach near you, or if it might actually be someone. So there might be someone, whether that's a parent or a sibling or your partner, someone that you can go to who holds space for you to let you grieve what you've lost and let you recover and rejuvenate, basically. Okay, 26, 27. Okay, so for June, okay, we have our second major arcana card, my favorite card of the deck, not. It is the Tower. Now, the Tower is about abrupt, sudden endings. It is about things being taken away from us that we should have let go of ourselves, but we didn't. So the universe has come in and taken it from us. Okay, so if you if you listen to these readings and I say to you, you really need to let go of this, whatever this part of your life is happening, and you don't, then this is the time that you may get the Tower card. So for some of us, there is going to be a swift, sudden change, an ending, definitely an ending, an unavoidable ending that should have happened a long time ago that didn't, and it's coming through now, and there's nothing that you can do to stop it. So you really, really, really need to be prepared for that. Now, globally, this could be the time when a change of government comes in, whether that's the American government changes, that Trump finally gets his dues and is taken out of government, or other war-torn countries, something happens to stop it. This card is absolute hell when you're going through it and you think, what the F is happening? But once you get through on the other side, you realize that you had to go through that to get to where you wanted to go. And you couldn't, or you wouldn't, see that you needed to end that part of your life. Now, because this is a reading for the collective, I am being shown Trump's face, unfortunately. So it's highly possible that it could mean that this is a time when globally governments will be making changes, because the community, society is no longer willing to put up with the shit given by some of these governments. Because let's face it, it is absolutely ridiculous, some of the things that they are getting away with. Now, the prescriptive card for this month, for June, is Know Your Song, which is a house finch. So basically what this is saying is that through all this turmoil, all this trauma, know who you are. Really, really know what you stand for, what you believe in, what your authentic self really, really is. Because you're really, really going to need to rely on it at this time. Know your song. So really make sure that you know what side of the fence you are on, because that could be quite hard for you if you still insist on being attached to something that no longer serves you, that's not supposed to be in your life anymore. It can be very hard for you. So you need to know where you stand in your life, where you stand as someone who is being their authentic self. Okay. So for July, okay, and so for July, we have the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is, well, most pages can stand for new beginnings, which is quite fitting after having the Tower card. But the Page of Cups can also represent, in a mundane way, actual physical good news is coming. So I told you, we go through that shit, but we'll realize that we go through that shit for a reason, that it was all good in the end. So we have the Page of Cups. So new beginnings, new emotional beginnings. Once again, reiterating that theme for the year of the Ace of Cups, which was also a new emotional beginning. The Page of Cups is reiterating that, talking about, it can actually represent someone who wears their heart on their sleeve a little bit, is in love with love, so do be careful there. But it's someone who is genuinely a really lovely person, but can be a bit emotionally immature too. But what I'm really getting is that we will see that that theme of new emotional beginnings is really coming into effect in July. Now, prescriptively, we've got Honeybee, Navigate by the Sun. Now, this is more about coming home. That's what I'm being given. It's about how the bees navigate by the sun so that they can go back to the hive and tell their fellow worker bees where to find honey by doing the little wiggle dance, and they navigate by the sun. So this is saying in regards to ourselves, always know where home is. Now, when I'm talking about home, I'm not talking about a physical home. I'm talking about your spiritual home. That place within you that is safe, is loving, is embracing. That peace for you, that place for you where you feel peace. And it's saying that you really need to make sure that you know where home is. Because there will be some new emotional beginnings, and yes, new beginnings are really good, but they can also be quite stressful as well for people. And if we've just had a month of the Tower energy coming through, there is a chance that we'll be feeling highly strung out and in need of a break. And so this card is really saying to us, make sure you know where home is, where you can go, where you can let down your guard, where you can just be yourself, where you can rest and recuperate and rejuvenate and get ready to face what else is to come. Okay. Okay, so for August, we have the Three of Wands and we have River Otter, Slide into Joy. Okay, so a lot lighter energy for August. The Three of Wands is a fiery energy. It's an energy that provides us with motivation. It gives us inspiration. It's about our creativity. It's about our spirituality. And Three of Wands is really about taking a look at the opportunities presented to us and deciding which one we want to take advantage of. If you really look at this card, you can see that he's standing and he's looking out to sea, and there's some boats there out to sea, and he can basically take his pick of which boat he wants to call into the harbour and take advantage of whatever is on board that boat. So this is saying there will be opportunities coming up for you, and you need to decide which ones you want to take, because there will be more than one. Now, the River Otter as a prescriptive is Slide into Joy, and it's just about the easiest way to make the decision about what's best for you, what's going to give you the most fulfillment, is to see it from through the eyes of joy. Having trouble talking today. So really feel that joy and the experience of love and happiness, and use that feeling when you're making your decision about what opportunity you want to take advantage of. Okay, so Okay, so for September, we have the Five of Wands, and then prescriptively we have Amethyst, expand into wonder. Now, Five of Wands can often be about conflict, but not fighting, more about, I see this more like a debate, like it's like a project coming together, a group of people coming together for a project, and everybody wants to be the leader. Everybody wants their opinion and ideas heard of, and everybody wants their opinions and their ideas taken seriously and implemented, which we all know is impossible. And nobody wants to listen. So that's going to be the energy for September, and it's a real it's really good to be ready for that type of thing, because somebody needs to be able to listen to all parties. Somebody needs to know what everybody wants so that they can semblance some kind of order and decide what is best for the project or for the group. However, I am being told that if you cannot listen or you don't want to listen and nobody is listening to you, to just remove yourself from the situation. Don't fight a fight that you're never going to win, okay? Let them argue it out between themselves. Now, saying that, our prescriptive card for September is Amethyst, expand into wonder. So this is really saying, they're giving me the word judgmental. So don't be judgmental. Don't place judgment on something straight away until you really think about it. So if someone suggests something and straight away you go, that's never going to work, stop yourself there and just go, okay, let's look at it from this perspective. Let's look and see what would happen if we did implement that. And really expand into that sense of wonder. What would happen? I wonder what would happen if we implemented this. I wonder what would happen if we did this. So it's really about, they're really telling me that, often this card is all about, it often goes with the sun because it's about having that childlike awe. But with this card, they're giving the message that you really need to just be open to suggestions, to people's opinions, and have that sense of wonder about, I wonder what would happen if we actually did that. Let's talk about that. Let's expand on that type of thing. So that could be really, that could be a really good way for you to get around the conflict, the conflicting energy that is there in September. Now, also I'm being told that this conflict could also be on a global scale. So whether there is an uprising in the wars that are going on in our countries, let's pray that that is wrong. But also it could be that there is arguments within governments as the governments have changed, and there's this arguments about what's being implemented or who's going in or whose head, or it just feels like it's something like that also. So that might be something for the bigger collective. Okay. Okay, so for October, we have our third major arcana card, and it is the Empress, one of my favorite cards in the deck. She is about new beginnings also, so therefore she is reiterating that theme for the year, and she is about abundance. She's about fecundity, she's about lushness, she's about nature, she's about the birthing of new projects, or possibly the birthing of children, if you want to get really down to the mundane aspects of this card. She is about love, she is about respect, she is about all that is, basically. She is amazing. So for October, we're going to really find that there is a real sense of abundance, there's a real sense of lushness, and birthing of new projects coming through, or new situations coming through for us, as we leave the energy of the Tower behind. Okay, and then we got the prescriptive card as well, which is Rose, which is crack open. So this is really, they're telling me this is really about doing things differently, really looking at things from a different point of view, from a point of view of your authentic self. So be prepared to look at things differently. Don't pass judgment on things. There's that word again. Don't pass judgments on things before you have looked at them from every perspective. So to crack open, to really explore the world around you, to really explore your options, you know, not just pick the option that feels the safest, because it might feel safe, but actually there could be another opportunity for you that will actually be more fulfilling and more satisfying for you. Okay, 4122. Okay, so for November, we have, in the predictive side, we have the Queen of Wands, and in the prescriptive side, we have Earthworm, discover your purpose. So the Queen of Wands, she is someone who's very in touch with her creative side. She's hugely motivated. She has a real lot of charisma. She has a lot of love and support. She's a great mentor. She is sociable. She likes to be with people. She's very sociable, but she's like to communicate. She is a real great mentor. She's very in touch with her spiritual side and her creativity, and she's also willing to stand up to her truth. So she's willing to speak her truth first of all, but then she's also willing to stand up and fight for that truth. She's not afraid to go there where no one else has gone. And I feel like this November, you might be required to just confirm that this is my truth and I'm not stepping down from it. And I feel in that way, the prescriptive card that we've got, which is the Earthworm, discover your purpose, is that you might start to see where your path is going. So remember I spoke at the beginning of this video about planting the seeds that will set the tone for the next 9 years. Well, this is here. This is where we're going to start planting those seeds, discovering the path that we should be on and making choices that lead us down that path and not off onto tangents. So really knowing your truth, be willing to speak that truth and be willing to defend that truth so that you can discover your purpose, but also work towards living that purpose. Okay, and finally for December, we have the King of Wands, and we have the little owl, key into wisdom. Now, quite fitting that the key into wisdom, the prescriptive card, comes in with the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands, he's like the Queen of Wands, but he is just as charismatic as the Queen of Wands. In fact, I personally think he's most probably a bit more so. He's a great leader. People respect him. He's just, he's fair. He rules with his heart and his head. He has a very good balance of that. And he is able to schmooze. So he's very comfortable being with himself, but he's also able to be very sociable. He's very willing to be sociable to get what he wants, to get to where he wants to go. So he's willing to do a little bit of schmoozing. He's very good at that, even if it's not his most favorite thing to do. He can be a little bit headstrong, so be very aware of that. If you're dealing with a person like that in December, it could be you. It could be not just the energy, but it could just be you. But this guy is so comfortable with who he is. He makes no apologies for who he is, and that's most probably the biggest advice I can give you, is that You don't need to apologize for who you are. Be proud of who you are. Stand in your truth. Be willing to defend like the Queen of Wands. And people, your tribe will come to you. Now, the prescriptive side of December, key into wisdom, little owl. So this is saying to you that you need to go within. You need to really trust that intuition. If you remember at the beginning of the video, I was talking about how this year we're going to, or 2026, we're going to be more willing to have faith and trust in our own intuition and not get our wisdom from someone else. This card is really saying, okay, you've had a whole year to settle. Now you really need to key into that inner wisdom and follow it and know that it is for your own good, for the best for your higher self, basically. So that is it. Ooh, nearly an hour, not quite. As I said, I'm going to try and time stamp these so that you can go to each month at the beginning of the month and have a look, because I will not be doing the readings, the monthly and the weekly readings this month. However, if you want to get bonus readings, you do need to sign up to my subscribers list. My subscribers to my newsletter have gotten this video first. So if you want to be one of the first to get these type of videos, you need to sign up for that newsletter, and that can be done on the homepage of my website. Also, lastly, just letting you know, I am now taking appointments again from the 2nd of January. So please, if you want to make an appointment with me, please go to my website. At the moment, I am getting it organized so that it's on my Facebook page, and I'm setting up an Instagram account too. But for the time being, please just go to my website. You'll see a book an appointment there. In several places you can book the appointment, and that will show you what services I offer, the cost, how long they take, etc., and what dates I am available. If you have any questions about today, please don't hesitate to contact me from one of the many channels that I'm contactable on, email, website, DM on Facebook, or YouTube, and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. I hope this reading finds you well. I'm very thankful for all your support through this last year of 2025, and I look forward to being here for everybody who wants to rewrite their story and create the life of their dreams in 2026. Okay, that's it. Until next time, see you later.